All right, lads and lasses, welcome back to the PommyInOz channel. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Turn the notification bell on. Make sure you don't miss any of the cracking content we've got for you in store in 2025. And it's Carlton we're talking about again. They take on the West Coast Eagles over in Optus. Home away from home for the Blues. One side desperately chasing a bit of consistency, and the other trying to taste that sweet apple that is victory. Can the Blues string 4 quarters together, or can the Eagles, like a phoenix, rise from the ashes? Stick around. We're going to get into it after the intro. Let's chat about West Coast. They say it's grim up north. They do in the UK, but it's more out west, isn't it, in this case? But there has been genuine signs of life for the Eagles. Last week against North Melbourne, they absolutely dominated the majority of that game. In the third quarter, they dominated inside 50s, almost over double North's entries. Marks inside 50, they were almost triple ahead of them. But 4 goals 6 to North's 2 straight should have been more ruthless, should have broken North's spirit, should have finished the game. They are there, but it's that case of nearly, and nearly doesn't get you wins in this game. The key now for West Coast Eagles is really turning performance into actual substance. McQualter has got them believing, but the question is, does belief turn into 4 points? While there was encouragement last week, one sign was their ball movement. They looked really strong. They did move the ball from the back half to the midfield well. They hit targets pretty well, and their young brigade did step up. It's about finding that composure now. When under pressure, can you make the decisions? And that is something that, you know, when you question Carlton, we've seen the answers. Reid, Elijah Hewitt, they have really shown that they are ready for AFL football and are the future of the Eagles. It's going to be a really interesting quandary for them against a team like Carlton, that when you bring that type of pressure, they can come unstuck. For the Carlton, it is a quandary of quarters, isn't it? They are the ultimate tease in AFL football. That first quarter was absolutely another level, and then it goes baffling. 6 goals in the first quarter. They looked absolutely flying. They were scoring from the back half so sweetly. 26 points. That was their best quarter from a transitional sense since records began. They then went missing. Essendon booted so many goals after that, 10-5. And it was one solid quarter that really got them over the line. And at the moment, they're sitting 11th. 5 wins, 7 losses. Carlton need to find answers quickly. They've got a very easy fixtures coming up. They've got Eagles, North, Port. But they can't look ahead. They've got to take it a game at a time. The big question I've got tactically is how Carlton really do rely on that midfield dominance and how quickly it goes safe, particularly from the back half of the ground. I'm a firm believer that Carlton's transition game is the main problem that we see. We saw it last week in the first quarter when the Blues are playing quickly and they're playing and taking the game on. Everything works brilliantly. It's when they go safe, and we saw Collingwood's third quarter handling pressure, just going slow and then finding the right target and still having an air to take the game on when the game opens up. Blues either are stop or go, 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 go. And this is where they're going to have to find a way to shift the gears and slow things down and be able to methodically build forward entries without suddenly going so slow, so safe that you can easily structure out Carlton. We need to be flexible, and at times, Carlton are a 2-trick pony. That pony is Winks or it's EO. Now let's look at the players that I'm really intrigued to watch in this game. Alex Cincotta, as we affectionately call him, our Pomcotta, and he needs to stop this babysitting tag role. I want to see Pomcotta unleashed. Let him play his natural game. Running, creating, being influential. I feel like he is a dynamic lift for the Blues. Keep an eye out, because I feel he will get a little bit of a tag game. And we know with Alex that he can impact on the front half of the ground. I would love to see him this week play at that half forward and try and be that point of difference. Maybe even that that Fantasia role, and get him floating around the midfield and giving him a responsibility to keep a player out of stoppage, but he himself gets the ball and take off and use that fleet of foot that Alex does have. Harley Reid is definitely one that I'm looking at. Special, young, talented, and now he's starting to show signs of leads. He can drag his teammates on, inspire belief, and be a pain in the bum. The big thing for Carlton is he loves his direct running lanes around stoppage, and that is something that Carlton struggle with. The Blues' big midfield needs to be ready, because if Reid gets up and about, there is a real big sign that their midfield gets around. Now let's look at how the teams play. West Coast still like to play that controlled footy precision kick and be patient, where Carlton, they're looking for almost aggressive death by 1,000 cut inside 50. The real battle here is who dictates the tempo. Carlton's midfield, led by Cripps and Hewitt, must suffocate Eagles getting the ball on the outside. West Coast, conversely, have to stop Carlton being able to find open space. Make it hard. The best method to beat Carlton in the minute isn't structuring up, it's guarding space, taking them options away. I'm really looking at the intercept marks here. I'm looking how Carlton can look to get in front of Oscar Allen and relaunch with Nick Haynes and Jacob Wheater in. And conversely, I'm looking at how Charlie Curnow and Hudson O'Keefe try and bring the ball to ground. At times, especially Charlie Curnow, he's guilty of going for too many marks, which then when he runs under it, it becomes a transitional threat against. The Blues really need their big hero, Charlie Curnow, to stay engaged and look to bring players in if he's not going to do it himself. For West Coast, this is about restricting Carlton's half-back run. When you stop Doc, when you stop Sard, and you make them kick, well done. High forward pressure, and then create Carlton's up and under kicks out of 50, resulting in repeat inside 50s. That's the way you really disrupt our rhythm. And that's the same around the ground. Take away Hewitt and Cripps' outlet ball, we always struggle. Where the Blues must ensure that midfield provides the defensive cover without having to take people from the half-forward line. When possession turns over, we saw it in the second half with the Blues, as opposed to the first half where we had runners ahead of the ball, everyone kind of sits behind the ball. And that allows Carlton there to really be spread and pushed out wide and slow us even more down. Carlton naturally want that midfield corridor, and you saw in the first quarter, when Carlton get it out wide to halfback, they're looking to go through the middle and all run. So what are the tactical fixes? Well, the first thing for the Blues is establish something that's a sustainable tempo. Instead of either being full throttle or parked in reverse, you look for periods of possession football. Carlton do like to switch it, but then they go even slower once they get that switch and they don't take that first kick. They've got to find the balance between being attacking, but you can still be conservative and conserve energy. As you see Brisbane, as you see Collingwood, as you see Geelong do, when it opens up, they'll play conservative football with an air to attack. It's about backing yourself in, believing that the guy's going to win the ball and running ahead. Carlton's forwards as well have got to provide shorter outlets. In the first quarter, we saw Mitch McGovern and Hudson O'Keefe be that outlet kick, which allows one to stay. It's a lower risk play, but it opens up the angles. Easier marks, steadier shots, closer to goal. With the form that Zach Williams has shown last week and Jesse Motlop, if this isn't marked, they will run on and get you goals. West Coast primary adjustment for me is being a little bit more composed. They really went in their shells in that fourth quarter and tried to conserve the lead. At times, you can be quick and precise and try and really break the game open with your good kicking skills. You want more lateral options, patient switches, and controlled entries. What they did at times is just flood the D50 and hope. Reid and Hewitt, they are them outside runners. They are them guys who can break lines. And you need to really focus their mature players to be creating real good options. And the pressure game is important. Both sides succumb to pressure. The Blues want that forward half pressure as good as it can be. And Eagles know that Carlton will always give you opportunities in the games. Let's look. The last 5, Carlton have won 2, Eagles just 1. Eagles have improved. If anything, the Blues statistically are going downhill. This is about stabilising the ship for the Blues and really trying to bank these wins. 2 wins in the next 2 games will make the scenery look a little bit different. And suddenly, as the harder fixtures come up, it's all to play. So for the Blues, it's about really ironing on. If Voss is correct, this is the system. It's about doubling down. And the inside 50 efficiency, Carlton are one of the worst teams inside 50. Very solid at marking inside 50, but they're from low percentile plays. This is where the Blues have got to make sure that they're not just getting inside 50 numbers for the sake of it. Change them options, change them avenues, and be good and accurate. These are vital areas for the Blues. If you look at the scoring accuracy and the marks and 50 comparison for the Blues being able to gain control. And it's also about trying to find them marks around the ground. So there you have it, folks. Carlton have to play 4 quarters. Can West Coast clinch their second win of the year against a side that is emotionally vulnerable at the minute? Drop your predictions below. Can't wait to be live for this one. Remember to hit that subscribe button and the like. Share your thoughts with me below. And join me for the watch along. I can't wait to see you. Catch you soon. Pom out. Spent all my life holding all of